So we are back. Hi everybody and welcome to the Unreal Engine 5 tutorial series for beginners. This is video number 5, I think. I hope so. This is video number 5. And in the last video we stopped with the screen here in the middle. We talked here all the top, and now we are talking the sidelines here, the outliner, the details, and the world. And let's get started. So first of all, we start with the outliner. What is the outliner? The outliner is just a representation of all assets. Assets are all that what you can see here in the scene when I click on them in the outliner, and that's it. Not more, not less. So let's click. I click here on the blue one, and you can see this is the name for this here and a cube. So you can delete it either here in this scene, or you can delete it here and then it's gone. The next thing is what we have to mention here on the outliner. Let's see what we have here. We can create a folder. That's not here. We have some act settings, and the selected, hide actor compositions. Not really. Oh, let's hide them. I never used that. And let's see. And of course we have here some folders. For example, groups and folders. So they are organized. That's good. And yeah, I think the only thing what you should know here also is this outliner has some interesting functions. For example, if you use later a blueprint, you can just go here, and then if it's a blueprint, then this one is highlighted. The name here on the type is highlighted in blue, which means you can click on it and then jump directly in the blueprint. That's very convenient. I think that's enough for this one. So the only thing what you should know is all in the scene, all what you place in the scene will be placed here in the outliner as well. It is just a text form, and here it's more the visual form. That's it. You can think about this at start. Then we go to the details panel. Details panel, I think it is self-explanatory. It's so called, but let's explain it still. Details means every object what you have has details. For example, this object has details, a name. It is called here on top SM Cube 8. Okay. Then the next details is, it is, yeah, something like that. You can read these details and so on, but let's go here, the more important details. For example, if you have here an asset like here, you have a transform. Why is that transform so important? Because this is the place where you place the assets in your world, and in our case it says the location is in X direction 1300, and in Y direction it is 2600, and set it's 0, which means in short this asset is even not in the 0 direction. So it's not, it changed from the 0 point. Okay, and let's go on. What is more, also I go fast over the most important details just as a short notice. So transform important, yes, because we will change this a lot. We will get the transform, the rotation, the scale. For example, I changed right now this one here, and you can see it is changed. Or I want add, you know, from the last videos we had here a add, right? I go to the sign here on the top, I go to the shapes, and I add a cube. But right now this cube, let me delete this one. This cube, what you can see right now, is added anywhere here in the sky, but then we go to the transform, to the location, and now I want it to a specific place. The first thing what I most time do is 0, 0, 0. Why? Because this is the origin, and now I have two options. Either I know the exact location and write it down here, or I don't know it like I do right now. I don't know where to go. I just make it like I see it, and I say yes, you can stay there, and I will use it here. right? For example, and then can move it here down up a little bit and so on. Okay, let's go on. Then we have here static mesh. This is actually the mesh what it is using, and here we can see this is using the cube static mesh. And yeah, here are short notice. What is the difference about a static mesh and an actor? The only difference is actually the static mesh is the place, it's the mesh itself, and the actor, it means only that the static mesh is now placed in the world. That's why on top here in the outliner it says static mesh actor. This actor is added, but in real this is just a static mesh, and because you place it in this world, it is now called static mesh actor. Actor, like I said before in any other video, actor means all time you can place it in your world and it will have, for example, a transform, location, rotation, and scale, something like that. Okay, let's go here a little bit more, and here we have material. This one you want to change it probably a lot, because right now you say, hey, I don't want this white, I want it green. Then you could get a material, a green material, or create one. It's very easy, and then you add it here, and that's it. And all the other options now, what comes now, I skip, because they are perhaps important, but right now not. They are not commonly used. What I mean with that is you set most time one time, or set in a specific situation. For this one is very important too. Collision, of course, this one, but these things you are not doing here actually. That's why it's not that important. Later, because this details panel you will use a lot in other places as well when you are creating cubes, blueprints, and so on, and then these options there will be more important. But right now here it's not so important. The collision, yeah, let's see, lightning, yeah, there you see here are a lot of options. Let me put this fast a little bit higher. You see there are a lot of options actually. You don't use them. The only thing what I really use is transform. This is very important because I place it anywhere and make it visible. And this location, for example, later I want to get this info and save it in a variable because I need it most time and rotation scale. So I need only transform. The static mesh, I probably need material, and that's it. All the other things here are you set one time and on specific situations, but you don't need it all the time. So it's very easy when you are just concentrating on less instead of much. So let's go on. That was our, what was that? Where I jumped, there, details. So that was our details, right? Now here is world settings. So world settings, this one is not on default there. This one I have added myself. So let me show you what I did there. Perhaps you remember I was on window and I can select all this kind of level editors, like it's called, and the only thing what I added to the default layout was this world settings. And why I did this, actually this one comes from Unreal Engine 4, and there is something very convenient about this one. And I show you this one. You don't need this, but I will use this in all my projects, demonstrations, and so on. And the convenient thing is you just go to this place where it says game mode, only this one, and then you select actually the game mode. So let's go, and then you go to because this is a third-person gameplays, there should be a third-person game mode. Is there? Yeah, probably this one, BP third-person game mode. And then, so what happens here is there are very important settings for game mode here. These are the most important ones. The thing what we use here most time is, what I use most time, default pawn. The HUD is here, but it's not actually used that much. Very strange. Yes, it is. Player controller class will be important, but I don't use it also not that much, but later I use it much because this has a very special functionality, and I make now write little games, but in a big game very important. Player controller, player state class, player what is that? Game state, player state, and then we have here spectator class. That's not so very important. So very important at start, definitely the first one. And all other you can almost forget at start. And the game mode here, this line, this 2 lines. So this world settings, I said it only because there's 2 lines. So the question is why I do the hell this. I don't know if I'm going to use that in Unreal Engine 5, but here in Unreal Engine 4 I use it all time. And why? Because let me show you. There is here, there are 3 options on the side, right? And the option what I need is this one. And it says here browse to asset in content browser. So what happens is I was working here in my scene or in my level or whatever, and I said I want jump to the game mode or the default pawn. And these 2 classes, the character and the game mode, are very, very important classes. Of course, the other classes are very important too, but believe me, these 2 classes you will reference a lot. Reference means use a lot coding stuff in there. So what I did then, instead of all time searching these classes manually in any content browser or whatever, I just, because it's here, I was working here, I say, oh, I must go to the game mode. Okay, here the game mode, I click 1 click, then my 2nd click, and I'm there. And here I click, here is the 3rd person game mode, I double click on it, ding, now it comes up. Let's see, oh, take a while. And the next thing what I did most time too is take this one, attach this on top, open this up, this one you'll make it, and then I'm in my game mode instead of searching this manually. Now I closed it, and now watch, now, oh, I must do some changes to my character, and I set this character later here, and then I go again, browse to asset, boom, it's going to the character, I double click it, and now I click here on, and I'm in my character. That's very fast, very convenient, and that's why I use that. So I think I stop now with that one. And in the next video we are going to the bottom line and to the content browser, what you see here. And yeah, I think then we have we finish our short overview. Short, it's not so short, but whatever, and make a little demonstration, a little, very little demonstration game with all the knowledge which we have here. But okay, see you in the next. Bye.